real shortly. We should be live.
RecBoys.
Yeah, we in the studio, we in the studio, we in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, we in the studio, we in the studio, the studio. You know what we doing, supporting indie artists. DJ Shad, Mr. Catch Ray, got the cup of Henny charging. Out the margin with the topic of discussion. Money talk, we hear the fussing, and they keep the special guests coming. Shad got the mute button, Chris got the drop. In the studio, they get it out the pot. They play the videos, let them know how to knock. Number one podcast, two kings, they claim the top spot. Take you to the next stop, get your merch at the rec shop. Swerving all lanes, got no time for the rest stop. No vest needed, intellectual bullets. Get your head shot from Spanish braids to dreadlocks. We here for the people. Did it from vinyls with needle. Can't play hard if you kegels. Looking for my ring like I'm Schmeagol. Here for the bread like a seagull. Warring for the flow, it's illegal. Everything out the vein, let it bleed through. Checking when you coming, cause we see you. We in the studio, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, we in the studio. We in the studio, the studio. We in the studio, we in the studio. We in the studio.
Everybody needs to tune in the studio with the RecBoys.
I'm in the studio with RecBoys. You should be in the studio with RecBoys.
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 RecBoys. Man, RecBoys.
RecBoys. I'm tapping with my guys, the RecBoys. You should tap in too.
In the studio.
RecBoys. What's shaking my peoples? You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shot.
Mr. Catch Rec.
And we are the RecBoys, and this is in the studio. What's shaking, homie? How you feeling?
Man, you already know, bro. Blessed. Glad to be back. How's everything with you, though?
I'm good. I'm having a Corona tonight, so you already know I'm getting focused for Cinco de Mayo already, my nigga.
Oh, wow. I'm on my green tea.
Nice. Shout out to Big Face in the building. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. If you could like, share, comment real quick. Let me know where you checking in from and who you are. Shout out to Gabe over at Finally TV too. We're streaming from there. We're streaming from DJ RecBoy Shy page. We are streaming from Men's Rights, the Village Network on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. So
Catch Rec Entertainment's page.
Yeah, everywhere. And not only that, but we're in Culture Shock Radio up in Canada, the Tattoo Shop in Ohio, Cuzzo FM in Germany, and Raptar Music out in Guadalupe. You know, so what's good, man? How your week going?
Oh, man, my week's been crazy, man. Caught food poisoning Sunday, came back sick. I got sick when I came back from New York. Caught food poisoning Sunday. It's been crazy, but you know, I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm excited about this one. This one, we actually had this gentleman on a few years ago, you know, and it's crazy because it's always like an hour's not enough time, right?
Yeah.
And we try to fit so much within that hour. And, you know, it's only right that, you know, we reach back out and get these guys back on, because the amount of work this guy has put in is crazy. I'm talking probably, it's got to be 30 plus years. I known him 20. I known of him 20. You know what I mean? I met him when he was managing Psych. That was 2000 something.
I didn't even know he managed Psych. That's crazy.
You didn't know that?
No, no. That is very crazy because we were on the back end of a lot of other things going on with that situation, but I never knew that. I didn't know that was tied into that. That's crazy.
He managed Psych. Jozilla was producing. It was a whole little
really
crazy. But yeah, we're not even gonna play no games, man. Tonight we have founder of Creative Space Music Industry. Like I said, 30 years of experience. He placed records with artists such as 50 Cent, Trey Songz, Soulja Boy, G Unit, Jadakiss, Rihanna. Like, I could keep going on. I'll be here the whole hour if I keep going through his accolades. No bullshit. Also author. I'm talking about Jay Hatch.
You already know. Well, shake your homie. How you feeling?
What up, fellas? What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all having me, man.
No, listen, we appreciate you pulling up. You know, it's
a minute.
Step over here. Yeah, it has been a minute.
I like the new digs. I like the new setup, the StreamYard. Everything was looking fresh. I fuck with it.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice. That's dope. That's dope. That's definitely dope. So what you been up to, homie?
Man, just busy, man. 2023. It's been a great year so far. Jordan year. So we just staying focused, focusing on a lot of film and TV work with my brand new brand called Made by Us Music. So we do a lot of work with like Peacock and the WC, Netflix, Fox Sports. Helping producers and writers get their music on TV. I also do a nationwide producer and songwriter event called the Creative Space Song Camp. It's usually a 3-day camp in a major city. We get creatives in there, create hooks all weekend, educate them, shine a spotlight on them as well. Bring some VIPs around and give them, some game, and just managing a few clients, consulting a few online brands, and staying healthy, bro. You know how it goes.
Nah, yo, you sound busy as a motherfucker.
Yeah, he said that like it was nothing. Like,
Not only that, but he's talking about Fox Sports and Hulu and all this other stuff. Go ahead, Chris, because
I was gonna say let's jump into the creative space, because I want to see how this creative space go in with the Made by Us, because I'm pretty sure you're kind of using one to feed the other.
Yeah, I mean, everything that I've always done has always been like somewhat of an incubation system or an ecosystem towards like the bigger goal. I've been doing this for a minute, and there's always been a lot of red tape in regards to getting music into the hands of the right people and getting those records placed, and then you got to deal with all the industry bullshit, and so what I try to do is I try to have these situations be a little bit more direct. So the creative space events are more as like a training ground or a breeding ground for me to see who's up and coming, who's ready to really work and get in situations where I know their work ethic, I know their turnaround in the studio, I know how they operate, I know their business, acumen, I know how dedicated they are. And then normally I'll sign a lot of these creatives to my company, which I have 2 co-founders. Big shout out to my man Rhythm J and Steve Whitaker, whatnot. So we basically, take these cats and put them in a real life situation, put them in our process, and we send our music out to all these different supervisors, and we have about 14 different sub-publisher deals across the world, and have our music in libraries in all different places like Greece and Belgium and Chile and Africa and London. And so it's like a kind of like a make money while you sleep kind of thing. That way, while these guys are creating and try to get the placements with the artists, we're helping them on the film and TV side of it. It's also, really kind of, again, training them to be put in a situation like the song camps are a big deal in the music industry. And in order to really kind of get ready for them, you kind of have to get ready for them. A lot of egos, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different scenarios. And when you're working on the same level and everybody's kind of on the same page, just trying to figure out how to elevate, there's no egos involved on this level. So we just kind of help these guys get ready for the next situation, hopefully elevate their careers. And we've seen a lot of success in a short period of time. Recently placed 10 records on HBO for a new Memphis-driven show focusing on athletes out of Memphis. We just got some placements on Bel Air Season 2, The Grand Crew.
Yo, listen, before you go any further, I need to get in on that, because I'm going to be back. No, you have to. I'm going to tell my manager. My manager's tuned in right now, so he knows. But yeah, how does somebody get in on that? Because I'm gonna want to know how I could get in, because I got some shit that needs to be placed on HBO. I got some shit for Stars. I got some shit for a whole bunch of people. So how does somebody actually get plugged in to this thing?
For me, it's really about relationships. We don't just post an email up on our socials and say, hey, send us music. Everybody is vetted. Everybody who's signed, I have about 85 people signed to my company right now. And they've either done my events, been referred by somebody that I really respect, have been in the studio with me or my clients or my signed, roster. But again, it's about relationships. So obviously, if you got some stuff, we always look for people who have a catalog, not just of beats, but of actually a full song, whether it be hip hop, R&B. Somebody who's actively working with a lot of different artists or creatives to be able to because we get a lot of briefs, right? So for instance, I'll get a brief from, something the other day that was looking for some female rap. and they were looking for something in a vein of like a Lizzo or a Lotto or a Cardi B, Latin pop fusion for this hair care company, and I go through my catalog already. We have about 2,500 records in our catalog already, and then I'll see what I have, and if I don't have it, based on the deadline, I'll reach out to the team, and then we have our whole process of how to submit, to these opportunities individually. The great thing about Sync is, A, you know what you're getting paid from the beginning. B, you're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you work with artists sometimes, like, oh, I don't even know if I'm getting a check. I don't even know if I'm getting publishing. Like, this is all worked into the initial agreement when you deal with us, and that's the information that we give you when we provide these opportunities. So I would just say, either reach out to me or have your manager reach out, and we could, set up a call, or you could send me some music in advance. And go from there.
I'm laughing because you talk about me and shit. But
no. That's how we keep it all in there. But I mean, just for people, because we know you. Like, you did event. He judged the showcase for us.
Yeah.
And it kind of got hectic. I think he might have got out of there before it got hectic. That's the one thing about you. You get in and get out. Like, you do what you're supposed to do. And as soon as it seems like, this ain't my vibe, I'm out the door. Because when I went to go speak to you, it was like, nah, he's some left.
Nah, once he picked the winner, everything. He business.
When was this though? When was that show?
Kapaloozas and New Paltz. We did the Capture the Crown joint.
Yeah, I left 2015, so it had to be 14, 13.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember that.
Yeah,
it was you and yours.
Yeah, we had the guy perform. He came out behind you guys. Yeah, it was J-Rec. That shit was crazy. But this is super dope, because right now we're tuned into a whole different audience than we were tuned in to back then, and this should be right up their alley.
Listen what they just hit me with. They just said, listen, we're in 88 out of 198 countries. This show will air tonight at 10 p.m. Salute to the village. You know what I mean? So we're part of the village. I ain't gonna say little. It's getting kind of big. It's over 18 creatives right now, and being more added daily, to where everybody's putting in one goal, one focus, and we're pushing this, and we're able to be played tonight in these different locations and pushed as a whole. It's kind of like what's crazy is, because I tell Drozilla this all the time, and I don't think he believes me, but you guys are kind of like my mentors without knowing y'all my mentors, because I watch what y'all do, and it's kind of like this kind of came off of the I Standard thing that I seen you doing. Damn, there's so much, bro. I had to write it down because it was crazy. The Buzz Up event, the Made by Us, the Direct to Execs, I Standard.
Get your buzz up.
Right. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
So many, and this all came from that. This was all watching what y'all were doing. And then in the time, we started this show like 2015, before the whole COVID shit, before the whole live thing was everything. And we wanted, the whole thing was, how can we bring people from all over the world in one place? And that's what you're doing, except you're giving them opportunity to go places. You know what I mean? Like the creative events. You how many? 7 different cities right now you in?
Yeah, 7, and we're planning our first UK one in top in 2024.
That's dope, because you're tapping into a whole nother fucking marketplace. And doing the show and getting independent artists on here who aren't big in the United States but are fucking like 2 times platinum outside of here, and to really get to speak to them, like Nimrod, he was like, yo, dude, I'm doing one more album and I'm retiring. And then he was like, you check my sales over here, it's like 1,500. But my sales over there is just a different element.
You know the Federal camp, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's speaking. He's speaking to Nimrod from Federal.
Yeah, Nimrod.
I got a question. Is there a market like this? Because what you're doing is like, it's like Chris said, it's like what we're doing with the village, but you're doing it just with music creators, which is out fucking standing. Like, just when you really wrap your head around the concept and the numbers that you're spitting out, and it's It's not a hard thing to do, but it is a hard thing to do. You get what I'm saying? So it takes time. And like you said, you've been in it for 30, 40 years. So
Easy now. Not 40
no,
years.
I'm like, well, 30 years. I mean, y'all niggas been starting out.
Let me clear the air. Let me clear the air first. Let me clear the air first. I've been self-employed for 22 years doing this. You know what I'm saying? Since 2001. Prior to that, I had an 8-year hiatus, but I used to be an artist myself, and Drawzilla used to produce me. So I used to be signed to Slick Rick's DJ Vance Wright back in the day. So I grew up around like the Grand Poobahs and the Sadat X's and, you know, Greg Nice's, etc. So like I had like a 5-year run, took off 8 years, and then left my job in 2001. So I've been in the music industry game for about 27 years. You know, solidified 27, 22 of that self-employed. Haven't had to go back and work for a company aside from just consulting them. Although I've gotten label, you know, offers and jobs and publishing opportunities, but I prefer to move independently because that's just, I don't like to be told what to do. And if I do end up deciding to go work for anybody, it's got to be something where I have complete creative control. But the thing about what I do is I try to teach creatives that they're more than just an artist. They're more than just, you know, a producer. They're more than just, and showing that there's opportunities aside from what they just think is the initial. Like if I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, you know, I just want to rap, right? That's just what I want to do. But you could also songwrite. You can create content. You know, you could be a brand, have merch, you know, do some ancillary income, you know, stream on the side based on how you operate, whether it be, you know, studio, videographer, whatever. I feel like people, you know, want to do it all, but then they don't know how to start, but then they also don't want to do it all, but need to do more at the same, you know, time. But I'm all about being great at something first, building a team and a structure, and then moving on to something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I've always operated. You know, that's why people are always like, well, how can you do so much and get so much accomplished? It's because I had this skill set that a lot of people don't have. I used to manage 18 stores for a clothing company. You know, I had like the biggest region in the company for Aeropostale. You know, any given time, you know, the president could walk in, the merchandising director could walk in, the chairman, the board could walk in. I had to have my shit like on 1,000 at all times. So my capacity to communicate, plan, prep, organize, you know, my vision to see 10, 20 steps into the future, you know, it takes a lot, but I've always surrounded myself with great people. That's why I've always had great interns. They've gone on to do great things after working with me because I try to give them and provide them with a skill set they can use in real time as well. But yeah, man, you know, the most important thing is you got to love what you do every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 22 years in the game. It hasn't been a day I haven't woken up and felt like I had to work. You know what I'm saying? I do this shit because I love to do it. It just so happens that I make good money doing it too. You know what I'm saying? So
what made you, what was the deciding factor where it was like, man, fuck this, I'm not going to work no more, I'm gonna bet on me?
Really what it was is I went through a little bit of a kind of like a fork in the road in my life. Like, you know, I was working for a company that I was making a shit ton of money from. I had a lot of responsibility. They respected me. You know, they gave me some really big shares in the company. But then my father passed away. And my dad was always one of those guys who had so much talent, and he was always like, I could have done this, I should have done this. But, you know, he had family responsibilities. You know, at the time I was 29, and I was like, shit, like I don't have a mortgage, I don't have any kids, I don't have major debt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tied down to anything specific. I was like, you know, I got to do this now. You know what I'm saying? And you're never really where you want to be, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got to touch every step on the ladder in order to really build that structure, or else whatever you're building is going to be on shaky ground. And the minute you start losing your grip, you're going to fall to the ground, and it's going to take that much longer to get up. So I'm a real big believer in building a structure, building a process, building a team, you know, perfecting it, and then moving on to something else. But, I woke up and I was like, man, I'm working like 60 hours a week for somebody else. You know, like why not do that and put that, you know, that effort and that focus into me and what I love to do. And, you know, between the relationships I've built, the publishing deals I've done, the brand endorsements I've done, you know, all the people that I've met, placed records with, all the artists and clients that I've had. I'm a lucky dude, bro. But it's not really luck. It's more the belief I had in myself and the people around me to really put everything on the table and go forward and not look back. You know what I mean?
I mean, and the grind and persistence as well. Like, cause I didn't know you to stop. Like, when I told Shad earlier, I'm like, yeah, he was managing Psych. He was like, I didn't know that. How?
Yeah.
Like, how didn't? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's weird. No, it's that part is really weird because how me and Chris got involved in the music thing was Psych needed. We said, yo, he needed some money. He needed 10 bands. They told us 10 bands would be enough to do an album for him. If he had 10 bands, he'd be straight. So there was 5 of us in the room. So we all said, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to come up with the money. And then once we come up with the money, we get broken off, and that's that.
Right.
The only ones that came up with the money was me and Chris, out of the 5 that was in that room. So from that point, we were like, yeah, these guys aren't that serious, but for us to move the way we move, there has to be something there.
Right.
And then, you know, that's really basically the story of how we got into the music. And it's crazy that you're on the other end of that. That's the crazy part.
Let me tell you a quick story, man. Psych is funny because I don't know if you guys know DJ Papa Bear. So Papa Bear came to me and Zilla, and he was like, yo, I'm working with this artist named Psych Osiris. You know what I'm saying? He's got some, you know, good stuff. He gave me a mixtape, whatever. At the time, you know, I was working with Zilla, and I just left my job, so I didn't really know, like, what direction I really wanted to go in. I just know I wanted to place a record with Zilla and build relationships in the game. So I just got a brand new Acura RSX, right? Looked like a fucking Lexus. I love that car to this day. It's my favorite car I've had in my life. I put his CD in the CD player, right? The shit won't play. I'm tapping on it, it won't play. Fuck it. I turn the car off. I go into the deli. I come back out. I turn the car on and shit comes on. Now the CD won't come out of my disc player, right? So for like 3 weeks, I'm riding around. I can't play the radio. I have no time to stop at the dealership to get this fixed. And I'm listening to Psych Osiris every single day I'm in the car. Wow. So I'm memorizing the records. They're starting to, like, the melodies are starting to. So finally I called Zilla. I'm like, yo, I don't know if this is like fate or it was meant to happen. I was like, but yo, I think this kid is fire, man. I think we need to talk to him. And we took him out to the diner to, like, have a conversation with him. And you guys know how Psych is, right?
Yeah.
So Psych, I was like, yo, Psych, get whatever you want, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's on me. And Psych was like, all right, cool. Let me get some shrimp. Let me get the lobster. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some.
He go big.
It was like $100 just on his plate. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know, we had a really good run. We were on a lot of mixtapes, man. A lot of really good things had happened in terms of, like, where we were, the people we were rocking with, the producers that were messing with them. You know what I'm saying? The video. I think we were over like 150 mixtapes at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got him into Source. I got him into Hip Hop DX. I got him into Double XL. Like, we had really had a good run. And then, you know, unfortunately, he, took that little vacation. And there was never anything the same after that. But I still go back to Dat Piff. Well, Dat Piff's not there anymore, but I downloaded all those albums from Dat Piff. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the old records. And every once in a while, I go back and check them. It just brings back the memories. But it's still my guy. I talked to him the other day for his birthday.
Oh, that's dope. I was just listening to one the other day. Just the other day, the D-set joint that he did.
Yo, when we did those mixtapes, we put those things together like albums, bro. Like, we had one of the best mix engineers, Ariel Borjo. We had, like, the skits. I mean, I had records from, like, Vinny Idol. I had records from Jimi Kendrix. I had records from, like, some superhuman people in the game, you know what I'm saying? Plus the freestyles. We had meetings with Shady. My man Riggs Morales wanted to take him to Paul, who was Eminem's manager. We had some really
listen,
good things.
I did a lot for the homie. He was the first one to where because we were on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And we were like, nah, if we gonna go, this is the go. Like there's no reason why this ain't gonna work.
It wasn't until years later that I actually found out that it was you and Drawers behind it. Until I actually was talking with Drawers one day, and I'm like, yeah, you know that? He's like, I used to produce him, and I'm like, yeah, and then I start thinking, I'm like, yeah, but drugs don't brag. So if he's saying that he really got you, and I start asking him questions, and he started telling me everything. I'm like, fuck, you really did it. And I ain't know because of everybody who was in front of him playing a part that they wasn't really playing.
Rosella did most of the projects, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we had our own built-in DJ. You know, I managed Bedtime at the time, and Bedtime was, you know, I got him the gig with Remy. And once he started working with Remy, that even opened up more doors because he was playing his stuff at the clubs and, you know, on radio. And, you know, we had our own radio show at one point called Hate Money Radio. And it's just crazy when you look back at that stuff. It's almost like a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? Like, like again, I've been doing this for a minute, but, you know, I don't feel like I'm old in the game. You know what I'm saying? I still know who's hot. I know everybody on the drill scene. I know all these new producers. I know all the executives that are younger than me. And it's like, you know, when you're in it and you're really in it every day and you keep your ear to the street, that's what keeps your ear young. It's what keeps your hustle up. You know, I don't know if you guys know who Steve LaBelle is.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him on here. I know you know him. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, that's my bro, man. You might actually, you never know, because he just signed a label deal with Universal, and you know he's always rocking. So I'll show him this, and maybe we can get him on here. But like Steve LaBelle is like the epitome of the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like he always had this saying, like, the coach lasts longer than the player. You know what I mean? If you think about it, it's true.
It's very true.
The coach could be coaching the team for 20, 30 years. Player might be on the court for 5 or 6, 10, 12 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so many LeBrons out there, but you got to believe enough in yourself to get out there every day to, you know, to teach this new kid, you know, this new trick, or and you know, fuse it with the old way of doing things, because that's what always worked, and help them understand it. You know what I'm saying?
You might have just changed my whole fucking philosophy for the next 40 years. Because
people always think, like, you know, it's a time thing. Like, oh, I don't want to be an artist at 40. Meanwhile, your favorite artists are 45.
And they're killing. And they're killing.
So the coach is the person that really is able to call these plays for a long period of time. And, you know, big up to my brother Steve, because he's always there whenever I need him, and he's always impressing me and taking a step up. You know, this whole weed work and the weed work and all the dispensary stuff. You know, the new label deal.
Don't they got a hospital?
Company. What's
Don't
that?
They have a hospital? Not a hospital.
Yeah, him and Scott. Yeah, they have a wellness center. Yep, in LA. Yeah, they have a hip hop museum. It's just crazy.
He's like the Fat Joe of the music execs. The way he evolves and changes and recreates himself is fucking crazy.
Well, just when I think I'm working hard, I go to his page.
Yeah, you see it. But yo, check this out. So, what do you think about the podcast video game? Like, what's the move? Like, in our lane right now, are you dealing with that? Are you dealing with content creators like that also?
I am, but I haven't really fully like done it myself. I'll give you an example. I used to do AM radio back in the day, almost 20 years ago. It was a hip hop channel in Long Island, and then we used to do podcasts before they were even podcasts. I don't know if you guys remember who DWI and the Matrix is, but they used to have like almost like a StreamYard, but like 18 years ago, before this even started. Like, he was the first person I ever did anything visually when it came to radio and music together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we'd have our show, we'd have guests up there. We had Remy Ma, we had J. Cole, this is before, like, you know, he was anybody too. So, you know, all the big producers, all that. So recently, the studio that I used to run, IMI Studio, right across the street, they built a podcast space. It's called Podcast Central. And there's 4 different rooms with different looks of podcasts. So they'll have, like, you know, socialites or everything from sports to fitness to music to cannabis to fashion to whatever in there. I think the podcast space is super relevant. If you look at things like my man Math Hoffa, if you look at where, you know, Drink Champs was and where they are now, you know, if you look at, you know, a lot of these other, you know, even like Hard to Earn with Torre and my man Bonsu, like, these guys have been doing the same thing for a while, just not in front of a camera like this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They've been doing it. It's a matter of putting it into perspective where people really want to dial into the content. I'm really more about like facts and education than I am about the drama and the politics of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to get clickbait. Like, people are going to pay attention to me because they know I'm going to drop knowledge and tell them some shit they never heard before. Because I've been somebody who realized that experience is the only thing that can come from, education can only come from people that have real experiences. You can read this shit all day online. It don't mean it's going to work for somebody, but I can tell you how it worked for me, and hopefully I can help you get out of your own way so it works for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about starting a creative space, podcast, just to focus on everything creative, down to the manager, to the songwriter, to the engineer, to the software, but just focus on really like things that people want to pay attention to help them with their careers.
So what's funny? You say that, and I presented something like that similar on the show to where I offered people. I said, listen, what will y'all be willing to spend if I could get y'all in a Zoom call with a Jimi Kendrix, with an Arsonist, with an Amadeus, so on and so forth. Jay Hatch. No, because when I initially said it, the plan was to reach out to you, but I wanted to get them in tune first, right? And their response to me was, they rather pay to do a seminar with 200-300 people and a Jay Hatch talking to them than them sit down one-on-one with you like this. And that to me, I couldn't understand that. Do you understand that? Like, I'd rather talk to you like this, not live, but I'd rather pay to sit down and get some knowledge from you one-on-one like this than 250 people around.
I think it stems from the pandemic, honestly. Like, I think people are really, itching to get back outside and shake hands. And, that's why I've been doing these camps, because I've been doing these camps for like 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people that are doing camps now. It's crazy.
There is a lot of those. There's a lot of those seminars to where they're doing like 2-3 day things, and especially with the Airbnb things. Like, they really getting fancy with this shit.
Yeah. So the one thing, and the reason why I like doing live things is because it gives people a sense of, how we've been doing it for a while. Right? That energy needs to be right. When you're in the room with the creative, their energy, the chemistry between y'all, how you guys vibe, that's big. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
On here, education is great. But, there's all, like, you can go to YouTube and find all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, hear it from somebody else might not be the same as hearing it from me. I just know that when I'm live and you hear me and you see my body language and
it's a different vibe.
And you can, like, I'll give you an example. At the end of every event, right? And this is something I did back in the days, and Zilla could tell you too. We used to go to a lot of like seminars, right? These are back in the day where people would pay like $500-$600 to go to a seminar, right? There was this one seminar we went to, and me and Zilla used to have this like really dope presentation where I used to have like a 8.5 by 11 letter size, like bubble wrap silver foil folder for Psych. It had Psych CD, his bio, a sticker, and then his sticker would be on the outside. It was like, if I held it up and the light caught it, it should look like a chandelier, right? Nobody was doing this shit. We were doing the panel, or they were doing a panel. I paid like $300 to get in. My man gave me a discount because I knew the guy was throwing it. But I said I wanted to pay. You know what I'm saying? It's when I first started. I'm like maybe like 28 at the time. I go up to everybody bombards the front after the panel's done. Everybody's like, yo, here's my shit. Here's my CD. Here's my tape. This is back in the tape days. I'm like, me and Zilla looking. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be one of these guys. There's a very thin line between thirst and hunger. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, I wanted to speak to one person, my man Daryl Branch. And Daryl Branch, Daryl Jones. Daryl Jones pretty much found Outkast and Usher. Like, he's the one that really A&R'd them and really took them to the heights. So I wanted to go to him just to like really connect with him. So as everybody's making their beeline back to the seats, I made my beeline directly to him. I gave him my package. We both caught eyes. He was like, I was like, and I went back and sat down. Right after that was the Q&A segment. So the first kid gets up and he's like, yo, I'm mad, bro. Like, all these artists are in here, but I feel like I'm the dopest. How do we get heard? How do we get seen? This is prior to MySpace. It's prior to social media. I think we just had emails, if even that was a thing.
AOL.
So everybody's looking around, right? Everybody's looking around the panel like, who wants to answer it? So Daryl starts looking around and he's like, hey, yo, who gave me this package? And he's like, stand up. So I stood up. He's like, yo, go talk to him. Right? So then after that day, I think I made like $12,000 to $14,000 in putting together packages for artists and clients just from that one event. Right?
Wow.
So the moral of the story here is, I realized at an early age in this game is that this is a product / service-driven business, right? the music is just one facet, right? And I don't really create music anymore. I can get any producer, any writer, any collaborator in the room and make a hit. I feel like I could do that. I've been doing it for a while. I've placed records that were mine. I placed records that were other people's. I feel like I have that capacity, right? That's why I do these camps, because these kids, they come into a session and they know me as J Hatch, whatever, but then they see me in the room and I'm like, nah, do that, harmonize this, 3 stacks that, verify this, drop this, bounce that, whatever. Like they're like, holy shit, like you really do know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, but that's just one facet of it. If I can provide you something that nobody else does, right, and do it good and do it really good, and I'm the only one doing it in the marketplace, guess what? You're coming to me. Right? So people came to me for, packages, websites, management advice. They wanted me to speak on panels early because I was doing so many things. I broke the showcase market in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? All these guys that are popping now.
Our showcase. We get it. No, that's
so
dope.
it's just a matter of, I think the podcast space still has a lot of room to grow, and I think the advertisement, side of it needs to catch up a little bit more. But there's definitely a lot of value in it. I just prefer to be in front of people, but I'll do these all day too because I love to educate. You know what I'm saying? Specifically, if we did like a series, right? Like maybe you guys create some sort of like in the studio, music industry 101 series, and it's just something where like maybe you only accept like 50 people and they pay X amount of dollars, and then I could even lead it. You guys can moderate it, but I could lead it and bring in a Rock Wilder, bring in an A&R, bring in a whatever.
Listen, I'm glad you're saying this because hopefully my manager is paying attention. My manager's gonna have a lot on his plate after this interview. I got all types of ideas. J Hatch is the fucking man. Yo, listen. Everybody, listen. Fuck that. Everybody,
hold on. You rewind though, because he touched on this earlier, and I think by what you're saying, it kind of just went over your head. It's building a network, building a relationship. Like it could have been easy. It would have been dumb. And this is where I think we're similar because I'm not that person. I'm like you. Like I remember we did a showcase with Fred the Godson. And we got done, and everybody was running him, and I'm standing there, and I'm with Mikey D, and Mikey D's about ready to pay that bread for the performance. And he said, "Yo, come on, you want to take a picture?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to take a picture." He said, "You sure?" I'm like, "Nah, I just want to talk." Like I was never like I don't care about the spotlight. I want to make sure everything is right, and we're on the same page. And then when we're on the same page, and I know we could potentially both benefit from it, then we can move forward. And I think that's where a lot of people fuck up. They're so quick to they want everybody want the now. This internet got everybody on this now. I don't care about making a penny now. I'm worried about what's coming. And you touched on that earlier with the licensing and the sync. That's where the money's at. That's the residual income. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could play a game.
So I was gonna say the money's really in the ownership of the music. That's really what it comes down to.
Knowing what to do with the ownership, because we touched on this early. A couple shows ago with MC Shan. He was talking about masters and all that, and I'm like, Shan, let's keep it a buck. If I could own the best masters in the world, but if I don't know what to do with them, they're really worth shit. And he was like, "You fucking right." You know what I'm saying? But let's get on to the next segment of the show. This is the joint where we like to call On the Rec. This is where we like loosen up a little bit. Shy gonna ask some questions. It's gonna be multiple choice. Sometimes he be stumping the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, I lose a lot.
Yo, listen, I can tell you right now, you done lost. You lost already. This nigga said he was running with Sadat X. Grand Nubian, my nigga. What can you do? Like, yo, listen, this is hip hop. I love you, my man. But you a young pup. So now, and when it comes to this shit, you might as well just sit back and just guess. But
we definitely gonna have a good time.
That's my knowledge. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, and the people tuned in gonna also join in on festivities, but they gonna have Google. Me and you not gonna have Google.
Now, y'all can see what happens. Y'all can do whatever you want.
Don't Google it. He's gonna put you full screen.
I'm a violate because if you want to test me, listen, I go against anybody. But real quick, shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got Culture Shock Radio up in Canada. We got the Tattoo Shop in Ohio. We got Cuzzo FM in Germany, and we got Waptar Music in Guadalupe. And not only that, we got the RecBoys, who are also restreaming tonight at 10 p.m., right? Right? Yeah, I need a head nod. And Saturday night, 8 to 9 p.m. on Blaze 'em Up Radio, which you can catch on TuneIn app or any app that you can catch live radio. Also, because Chris hooked this shit up himself, you can catch this shit on all places you get your podcasts. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at, you can get in the studio with the RecBoys. So make sure you guys tap in. This is definitely an informative show. I'm having a good time. But shout out to everybody over at Finally TV and what we talking about. Gabe, let's get it.
Man, what's this? In the studio with the RecBoys on Finally TV. Go ahead and grab their merch everywhere. Check out their page, In the Studio with the RecBoys. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Check them out. Like, follow, subscribe. Y'all enjoy the rest of the show.
Absolutely, the Corona. Listen, I'm practicing for Cinco de Mayo. I got something going on for Cinco de Mayo, so I got to be focused. I gotta be Cinco de Mayo proof. So I'm practicing now, so that by the time I go and Cinco de Mayo pops up, I'm fully invested. But the first question of the day is, who was the first act Jermaine Dupri signed? Jagged Edge, Criss Cross, Escape, or the Brat? Let's get it.
It almost feels like a trick question because I know what I want to say, but I'm actually going to say C, Escape.
You know, it's crazy because you wanted to say D, the Brat, right? And I'm going with C as well. That's what you wanted to say was D?
I want to say Crisscross.
For real? You think Crisscross was before the Brat?
I think so. Because that's like early 90s. I'm gonna say Escape though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Chris, you're a fucking cheater.
No, because I thought it was the Brat, and then I definitely didn't think Crisscross. I think that was like, 90 shit. It had to be like 95. I don't know. I'm getting kind of old this shit. But the people tuned in said C&G said B, Kalithia said D, Tina said C, Rafiki said C, and C&G said yes. I don't know. I think he's trying to say he got the answer right. But who we got, Sha? Who's right?
The correct answer is C, Escape. He never signed Crisscross.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, which was interesting because
he just produced
all of them. Yeah, his dad actually managed Crisscross.
So it was kind of like what he did with Bow Wow, because I just recently heard the interview with Bow Wow.
Yeah, but he signed Bow Wow. No, he didn't sign Bow Wow.
Bow Wow
wasn't signed. Bow Wow wasn't signed to So Def.
What was that? Capital, right?
It was Arista. Yeah, Arista through Capital.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, on this one, it was C, Escape.
Okay.
Escape was the first one that he officially signed. All right, the next question. All right, so it's 1-1. Chris is just piggybacking off you because I already told him that he was going to All right, so the next one is, who's the first act Dr. Dre signed? The Firm, Eminem, NWA, or 50 Cent?
I'm going B. I'm going to say it before he say it. That way you don't say I'm trying to whisper. I'm going B.
Yeah, I'm going to say B as well because the Firm wasn't signed. He just produced a couple of the records on there, and NWA was not signed to him. And 50 came through him, so M and Dre. So I'm going to say Eminem.
We're going to wait and see what happens.
I don't think they want to answer. He just broke it all down.
I mean, but you got to understand, too, what did the Firm come out at? What the new Firm? What was their last album under? Aftermath.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know, he was signed to them though, because Nas has an individual deal.
That's right.
He had an individual deal. Priority Records.
That's right. We're not getting no answers.
No, they're not answering. They don't know.
All right. So it is B. But
See, he
it
tried to
was-
trick us and shit.
He tried to take us all around the block for that one.
Yeah.
No. It is a trick question because I mean, if you look back, he said it in the rap. They thought he fell off because the firm flopped. But like you said, it really was. It was aftermath. It was a 50-50 venture. So, but M was the first official act that he signed.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so it's 2-2. Chris over there cheating. Next question is, what was the first act Puff Daddy signed?
Let's see.
D. Jodeci.
All right, we got D.
He signed to Motown though. He didn't sign out to Bad Boy. Just so we're clear.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
so
what?
I think you want to rethink that then. I think he's saying Puff Daddy signed. It might be to, I don't know. I'm thinking as he signed it to his label, so I'm going to see.
Yeah, it's all to their own separate labels. Let's get it right.
Oh, so you're saying Bad Boy then, not Motown.
Not Uptown.
Okay,
Not Uptown.
that's a different question then.
Right.
So Bad Boy is C.
No, because you going to C?
Yeah.
All right. Chris, what you going with? Everybody say
I
C.
said C before you could read the question, so you couldn't say I was cheating.
Don't even do that, my own. All right. Well, listen. All right. Well, everybody's chiming in. Everybody, I guess, knows this. It is C. That is the correct answer. But he never signed Jodeci. He just bought them to Uptown. Same thing with Mary J. Blige. I think Mary came. I don't think Mary was ever under Bad Boy or
No.
Joe. Yeah, what ended up being he A&R'd it. So I guess he signed them.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he brought them to Motown and he signed. I guess as an A&R, he signed them to.
He got them signed.
Yeah.
Damn, I just learned something. I didn't know Mary J was a son of Bad Boy.
No.
Puff just produced her most of the
Yeah, and it's crazy. It was like Puff connected the dots. Pretty much what you guys do. You connect the dots, which is super dope. All right, next question is, who was the first act Russell Simmons signed? Let's get it. A, Fat Boys. B,
You know
Curtis
what?
Blow,
I'm gonna say
C,
A because
Run
we got the
D,
homie on next
LL
week.
Cool J.
I'm saying it's A. Shout out to Cool Rocksky. We got him on here next week. I could be wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Man, this is a trick question too because there's so many different ways to look at this. I'm gonna say C because it's his brother.
You got any
I don't know if
So you
Curtis Blow
say-
ever signed to run Russell though.
Yeah,
Maybe
Shad
for
is
management.
he's asking some vague questions. So you're saying to Def Jam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Russell Simmons. He had Rush Management too. So
No, we're talking about Def Jam. We only talk about art. We only talk about record labels.
I'm gonna say Run DMC.
C.
I'm gonna. I want to say I'm messing around. I'm gonna say salute to Fat Boys because we got Cool Rocksky on here next week. But I'm gonna say D. Final answer D.
D is your final answer?
Yeah.
That's what you said, Chris?
Mhm.
The correct answer is D. LL Cool J was the first one that was signed to Def Jam, which he partnered with Rick Rubin, which then brought in Run DMC. And I think Curtis Blow got signed in after everybody because he was already locked into a deal that Run kind of managed.
Right.
You got to remember they did the Christmas song was the first time they worked together, which check it out. If you guys don't know nothing about that, go check that out. Dope hip hop history, 50 years. Last question. Wait,
Hold on. You know what just hit me? You know what just hit me?
Nigga?
Nah, you know what just hit me? Imagine if we did his idea, but in a trivia thing like this, to where they ask like, "Yo, how do you I don't know, trademark for a simple ass question?" And boom, 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 boom. You know how many artists really don't know that some shit like that?
Man.
Like make it fun but learning.
I'll write that whole shit up for you, bro.
Nah, see, that's dope.
Yeah.
See, all right, last question. Yo, J Hatch, Chris has never beaten nobody, my nigga.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you down one.
Nah, because he caused a tie. If I tie with you right now, you won. It's always
you
a
win.
push. Yeah.
But but dude, don't lose.
Okay.
Hey, nigga.
We
All
tied
yo,
right now,
listen.
right?
What was the first act Jay-Z signed? It was the A, True Life. Hold on. What are we doing? We doing A, True Life. B, Freeway. C, Memphis Bleak. D, Jay-Z. For the win.
He signed himself.
I'm gonna say C, even though I know that's not. I don't think Bleak
See,
was
you
ever
being a
signed.
I'm
scrub.
losing on purpose now.
Oh,
Chris,
Nah, even if I agree
You try
with
to be
you,
a good sport. You try to be
even
a
if
good
I agree
sport.
with you, you're gonna win anyway because we tied. So
Listen, yeah. Either way, it was C, Jay-Z. That was the first thing he did. As soon, well, he didn't even. That was what he did when he came out.
He said that on one of the joints, one of the most famous records.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people didn't know that. But listen, the trivia was dope. We do have some videos. We're gonna get to them. We're gonna see how many we can.
Rep or wreck?
Yes, sir.
Rec or rec. If you feeling it, it's REC. If you're not feeling it, it's WRECK. But I'll be honest with you, if the people start typing in WRECK and we get enough of them, we just stop the video.
Yeah. Well, Enzo was in the building. Hopefully Enzo is still in the building because I'm gonna play his joint so we can figure out what's going on and you can let the brother know what's shaking. You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shop, Mr. Catch Rec. Jay Hatch is in the building with the RecBoys, and this is Rec or Rec. Let's get it.
Cultural entertainment, sucker.
RecBoys. God, please, God, all I'm asking for a little bit of mercy. Cause at times I question if you bless me or curse me. The desert you provided water when I was thirsty. I'm confused if you shield me or desert me. And I don't want no baggage on my back like herpes. I'm out here after 27 years. Family and friends in the system all fucking jerk me. Don't let the streets swallow me up like Slurpees. So I can go hard against armies formed against me. Wasn't that the purpose? Mom gave birth to me to mingle with the devil every time she flirts with me. Pushing work in the streets, popping perk, feeling all Hercules. Like ain't no team out here can fuck with me. Keep my family safe and take my team to high peaks. Oh yeah, nah, you don't wanna feel this heat. God, all I'm asking for a little bit of mercy. Cause at times I question if you bless me or curse me. The desert you provided water when I was thirsty. I'm confused if you shield me or deserted me.
Clear conscience. I'm conscientious of karma's consequences. With Dharma and my essence, my tribal heart's protected. Make sure you get the messages encrypted in these sentences. Delete verbal penmanship designed to fight the devil shit. Almost slipped, but you know I had to return. Reborn to relearn, regain my status. No longer on that hiatus. Though peace is greater, still get slapped 5 like high hater. My mind's greater, algebraic with no paper. You get it now, it's a no-brainer. A rebel genius, but I'm no savior. More profit, that'll put you on your square when you getting out of pocket.
God, all I'm asking for a little bit of mercy. Cause at times I question if you bless me or curse me. The desert you provided water when I was thirsty. I'm confused if you shield me or deserted me.
So, what you know about a honey bun for Christmas up in Mama Love's kitchen? I was gifted and demented, couldn't keep the vision. You gotta be shitting, pound for pound, block star. It was written on a postcard in a Porsche car. I never missed a pitch on my gold yard till I start to see it in the glow dark. Too many mini-me's got no heart. Got me for a light ticket, I said don't start. Every loss came with a lesson that was postmarked. It's a blessing, a curse, you end up getting paid on the dirt. Go against me, leave you right where you lay. That's the meaning to pray, don't get carried away. I'm drinking Perry G way for the
all I'm
pain.
asking for a little bit of mercy. Cause at times I question if you bless me or curse me. The desert you provided water when I was thirsty. I'm confused if you shield me or deserted me. God, all I'm asking for a little bit of mercy. Cause at times I question if you bless me or curse me. The desert you provided water when I was thirsty. I'm confused if you shield me or deserted me.
You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shot, Mr. Catch Rec, the one and only infamous Jay Hatch is in the building. So what you thought, homie?
Yeah, man, it's a wreck, bro. I mess with it. REC, definitely dope. I like the hook. I would maybe suggest him adding some more layers to the hook, just give it a little more like angst and some more like texture. But aside from that, man, he's he's definitely doing his thing. That's what I love, man. I just love that vibe, that gritty, grimy, early '90s Buck Wild, Havoc, Alchemist kind of vibes on the beats. Like they definitely understand that space really well. So I'm with it. REC.
Yo, Chris, what you thought?
For me, it was REC, but the beat for me, it felt like I was just listening to a loop.
Yeah.
It probably was. But my nigga said, what you know about getting a honey bun for Christmas? That shit broke my fucking heart, my nigga. Like, I can't, you know how broke you would have to be.
That shit personal.
Yo, listen, I'm thinking like.
Are you speaking to me? Are you speaking to me?
No. I had some hard Christmases, but damn, it wasn't never that hard, my nigga. Like, real talk. See, he said definitely a loop, an older beat in the stash. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, but they did it justice. I think honestly, if they went back through and did exactly what he said, add some layers to the hook, touch up the beat, add a little depth to it. It sounded like too flat. Like, you know what I mean? There was no. I didn't feel the energy in it. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. It was a dope record, but I didn't feel it like.
Yo, listen, like I said, I was kind of once I got to that, I'm like, damn, my whole train of thought switched up. But we got another joint from the homie Vegas Vic. We're gonna jump into that one real quick. Let us know what it is. It's REC or WRECK, Rec or Rec. J Hatch is in the building. Let's get to it.
Cultural Entertainment, sucker.
RecBoys. You love me, you do not though. I've been to hell and back, I walk on hot stones. They tried to count me out, but I will not go. I thought you held me down, but then you let go. So now I'm on my own, I feel like Michael and Jordan Jackson Tyson, it's my fight though. And Nisha said them demons I should let go. But little does she know it's hard to kill a ghost. I wrote an honest post, ain't caught a double dose. So now I'm taking my own medicine, might rock the boat. If you offended, please admit it, friendship over though. Due to the optics, my position got you judging wrong. I got a roof up out the pissin' and my daughter's love. So I'ma keep my head up high and I remain strong. And yes, my back against the ropes, but I remain calm. And for every broken heart, I answer karma's calls. No Mr. Nice Guy, I still respect you all. I give you what you give me, it's a simple law. I pray that God forgive me if I sin some more. I'm just trying to find my purpose on this bumpy road. Avoid the potholes and all the friendly foes who trying to block roads. Oh yes, I paid a toll. I used to burn O's, now I can barely roll. I used to chase hoes, now I just follow goals.
Cultural Entertainment, sucker.
So that right there was from Vegas Vic, Creative Studios, Creative Vision,
Creative Productions.
Shout out to those guys over there, K Killy, Vic. They got a nice little camp. J Hatch, to you, how you feel?
Honestly, man, it was kind of neat. It was kind of like low energy for me. Even the video, like the visual was kind of like far away. You really couldn't see the artist's face. You can't really like vibe with what he's trying to do. It's just kind of almost like an interlude or a visualizer as opposed to like a real video. I think he definitely had something to say. I just feel like it was just kind of blah. I needed more energy. Honestly, that's just how I feel.
Nah. Well, yo, listen, that's what you're here for. We here for the honesty. Chris, how you feeling?
I feel the same way. I think I like the joint. Why I like it is because he's not like any other artist. And every time I listen to these guys, they try their own thing, and I respect that from an artist and try to follow trends. What you think, Shop?
Me, he had another newer video out, and this was the one that I picked to play. On the newer video, I didn't jack it. Not to say that I didn't like it. I just didn't thought it was. I didn't want to play it on the show. To be honest, I don't know what my vibe was. I might have been high or whatever, but I just never know. I picked this video. Shout out to him because he has more than one video out. He has a couple videos that I could choose from, but I know he has a project out. So I figured that that's what we're here for, to shine some light. You get what I'm saying? So I picked this one because this one was, in my opinion, the better of the two, the one that I wanted to present.
I'll second Chris's comment though, because I really feel like, the one thing about it definitely stood out from cookie cutter shit we hear every day. So applaud him for doing something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, and that's why I played it. And I need, it's weird because I'm in the music business, but not in the music business. So when I give a critique, it's different. It's received different. You get what I'm saying? Like, I produce, we work with artists. It's perceived different from me. So what I do is I bring it to the people and let the people decide. That way, maybe I'm the crazy one. Sometimes I be the crazy one, But shout out to Vegas Vic. I enjoyed that video, me personally. Son is so talented, and it's unfair for me because I know him and I know where he's at. So when I see a foul shot that bounces off, and I know he's a 90% shooter, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, okay, I'm a little bit more forgiving than somebody who's never seen him play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Vegas Vic, all the homies over there. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in, everybody that gave their feedback. Shout out to the big homie Jamie Hatch in the building.
We got one left, right? Last one.
You want to get into it?
Yeah, we got to get Ezra in there. We got a female out of Tampa, Florida. I think I'm gonna let you hear it, and then we'll talk about it real fast. So I'll let you go because I know you're a busy man.
Cheers.
Good, bro. Good.
Cheers to Chris, because he's usually pressing me for time, but we gotta get into it. Let us know what you think on the other side, all right? Let's get it.
Cultural Entertainment, sucker.
RecBoys. I know you wanna roll like the old days. Give it up. Who that got you acting brand? Streets got you acting brand new. I'm the nigga that they love to hate. Never ever thought I hate you. You don't like none of my friends. None of my friends like you. You get under my skin. Under my skin, tag. Give it up. Girl, the chick is up. I know you wanna roll like the old days. Girl, I see you slip into your old way.
Whatever we had is a thing of the past, but let's keep it real while we didn't last. You so disrespectful, it's not that I hate you, but you make it hard for a bitch to respect you. Remember them times when shit was all good? Sometimes when I'm grinding that wood, 4-5, stay loaded and ready. You think I won't pull it, then go ahead and bet me. You act like I don't like your friends for no reason. Remember, they covered up all of your cheating, the creeping, you heaving, you so damn deceiving. Then I was crazy when I started tweaking. Popping your tires, spray paint your liars, taking the back to your brand new Ferrari. Please, but it's sorry, go ahead and try me. I'll do it big, that's word of mommy. Let me keep my mother out of this. Keep it sorry, yes, apologies. Wanna see me, then follow me. That's as close as you'll ever get again. This for the nights that I broke down and cried. For all of those nights that I needed God. Chin up, head high, you a bad bitch. Feeling brand new and I'm back outside.
I got you acting brand. Streets got you acting brand new. I'm the nigga that they love to hate. Never ever thought I hate you. You don't like none of my friends. None of my friends like you. You get under my skin. Under my skin, tag. Give it up. Girl, the chick is up. I know you wanna roll like the old days. Girl, I see you slip into your old way.
Hey, give it up. You been wild and acting out of character. Lately you been seeming like a stranger. I don't know this person, you done turned to shit hurt. Got me cursing you out of angle. Who that got you acting brand new? Think you need to check your attitude. It ain't about what you say, it's how you say it. You being rude, fucking up my mood. I wish you would keep my shit up. You go get your brother, I beat that bitch up. Break up the makeup, I eat it, then beat that shit up while we fucking the sheets and shit up. But it won't be long till we back at it. We ain't doing nothing but temporarily sweeping shit up. Seem like you know all the right buttons to press. Ain't much more I can tell ya, bitch, keep that shit up. Bitch, keep that shit up.
I know you wanna roll like the old days. Say the streets got you acting brand new. I know you wanna roll like the old days. Say who that got you acting brand new.
I heard you been out here living it up. Girl, tell me really what is it you love? Been in my feelings, I've been feeling stuck. Bring me and lemonade, me to my cup. I heard you been out here living it up. Girl, tell me really what is it you love? Been in my feelings, I've been feeling stuck. Bring me and lemonade, me to my cup.
Who that got you acting brand? Streets got you acting brand new. I'm the nigga that they love to hate. Never ever thought I hate you. You don't like none of my friends. None of my friends like you. You get under my skin. Under my skin, tat. Give it up. Girl, the chick is up. I know you wanna roll like the old days. Girl, I see you slip into your old ways. I know you give it up.
Cultural Entertainment, sucker.
You already know what it is. DJ RecBoys shot Mr. Catch Rec, the big homie Jay Hatch in the building, and that one was from Ezra Banks. Jay Hatch, how you feel about it, homie?
A lot going on in the video, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the vibe was just really weird. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like 4 totally different individual people, but like in this outside junkyard. I know budgets aren't high, but you know what I'm saying? I think maybe that
talk to him, please.
Could have been a little more focused. But I will say this. They all had a kind of like own individual style. I really like the second dude rapper with the white t-shirt on. I thought he was fire. I like the female. I think she was dope because she was spitting and not just saying whatever. But again, like just content, like bad bitch, just you gotta have more substance nowadays to stand out amongst the elite female rappers in the game. You know what I'm saying? The structure of the song was challenging. I thought the girl at the end had a pretty good voice. I just feel like sometimes when you try to like do a posse cut these days, it's got to be like up tempo, quick, urgent, and it's got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise, you're leaving too much to the open mind. Like I would just say, give us less, and not necessarily have to do more, and we should be able to get it that way. But I'll say it's on the cusp of both. Like the artists were dope, but the video to me was kind of suspect.
Right. It was whack. Go ahead, Chris.
I felt the same way. I felt like it was too much. I definitely feel like it was too much. You know what I mean? But I fuck with Ezra, so I gotta give the REC.
Okay, I had to open a new pack, and I don't usually do that for the show, but I had to open a new pack because when I uploaded the video, I seen the guy. You know what I want to say, but I seen the guy, and he had the thing on his face. And that threw me totally off. So now, like, the song is dope. I like the vibe of the song. If I was in the car and I was going to pick up my wife or going to pick up the kids, I could zone out and listen to it. The video.
Now, let me ask you this, which I agree real fast. If it was engineered better, the whole feel would have been.
Listen, the video throws it off, dude. The video.
Hold on, look at him thinking about it. Look at him thinking. I think. What
I was gonna say is like, you know, there's something called song structure, and not that everybody has to follow along with the same song structure, but you got to think about your consumer, right? Like if I'm gonna be listening to something like that, and I'm the artist, I want to give people things to sing along to, things to get familiar with, things to relate to and latch on to. To me, there was none of that really in the song. There wasn't like a point where, you know, we could all sing along to this one part. You know what I'm saying? Or we could all, like, it's not an anthem. It's not something we sing in the club. It's not something we put in our IG caption because it sounds cool. Like, it's just it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not like, I don't know. I guess now it just takes a lot more to impress me in my ear because I'm so like the talent pool is so deep, and yet not that many people stand out because everybody's trying to do the same thing. I will say that they didn't really try to do the same thing as everybody else, but I think they need to kind of conform when it comes to putting the song together in a way that people can relate or understand it.
It felt to me. It felt like this. It felt like Hats, go put your verse. Chris, go put yours. Shot, put yours. George, put yours. That's what I mean by engineer. They had, and that's the difference, like with the producers and the beat makers. Yeah, the beat makers, right? You get that engineer who's just like, all right, go ahead, record. All right, you done? All right, come on, you going.
Right.
As somebody like a Drawers who I witnessed, like, hold on, what are you doing? Like, dude, you know what I mean? Somebody to actually show them how that shit could go. I think you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
For me, it was. I mean, I would have to give it another listen. The vibe was okay. I had to put my head down because I didn't want to watch the rest of the video. And no, it was a video show. So that's where it's like, damn, homie, like for me, you missed. But for the benefit of the doubt, I could see myself cruising and letting it play. Like, I'm not going to hit skip. I'm going to let it rock out. Now, after 2 or 3 plays and they're really not saying nothing, then yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I'm on the first. Frank is a funny guy. Frank is a hard critic. But on the first vibe, I would give it another spin. That's just me. But then the next spin would be listening to the song. Like, I was so distracted from the video that I had to put my head down and just feel the music. I'm a producer first. So it's the music that catches my heart first. And then I'll go back and listen to the lyrics. You get what I'm saying? And now I'll probably end up like how you guys feel about the situation. But
Hatch, definitely want to say thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on, chopping it up with us. I hope you enjoyed yourself as we did.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all for having me on. And like I said, if there's something I could do to help out in terms of trying to, expand the brand a little bit or bring some more value to the table, just reach out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna reach out right now because I need a drop. I need a drop from the one and only. So let's. Chris is laughing, but I'm on it. Yo, what's shaking, homie? Tell them who you locked into right now. Let's get it.
What up, man? It's your boy Jay Hatch. I'm in the studio with the RecBoys. We talking shop, industry 101. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. This is how you learn. This is how you elevate. This is how you get better. In the studio, RecBoys. We out.
Nice, my guy. See, that's what I'm talking about. But he's a professional at this shit, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's what That's it.
Definitely appreciate you. I'll send you out the email. Give me a few days and with some ideas, and then you let me know what you're thinking and what path you think we could go down.
All right, man. Sounds good, y'all. Appreciate you, man. Have a good
weekend.
Man.
I appreciate you. Yo, you be too. Good. Be safe, homie. Easy.
Likewise.
Yo, dope show. Dope interview. Dope videos. Nobody got wrecked all the way. Frank was on one. Frank really wasn't fucking with us. I get it, Frank. I get it. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We got Samantha. Tune in to her tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We got
tea time with Bunky tomorrow too.
7 p.m. Yo, listen, do what I do. Hit one on the cell phone and one on the laptop.
Facts.
Tune in. Those is my sisters over there. So make sure you guys tune in and catch what they got going on. It's always something dope. It's always something new. It's always something fresh. Make sure you guys tune in. If you missed any parts of this, make sure you guys tune in tonight. Culture Shock Radio. That's up in Canada. We got the tattoo spot up in the tattoo shop in Ohio. Y'all bugging over there, man. That's a whole nother subject. We're gonna get into that, but listen, make sure you guys tune in to get the music info. And then we got Cuzzo Radio up in Germany, and we got Waptar Music in Guadalupe. Chris, we also replay back Saturday night. Blazing Mud Radio.
Saturday night, Blazing Mud Radio, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Make sure you check that out. And like Sha said earlier, check us out on all streaming platforms. Just look up in the studio with the RecBoys. You'll see it, everywhere. Tomorrow night, we also upload to YouTube. So there's multiple places, multiple facets. You can see this. And again, salute to the VGN network. You already know what time it is. If you want to fuck up the algorithm, you already know. Fuck with VGN, RecBoys. You already know what time it is. We're on this mission to catch Rec.
Yo, listen. Shout out to Finally TV and What We Talking About podcast. I caught them last night, and I was really feeling Gabe. Gabe was on one. I was feeling him. He was talking about, they setting trends, and, there's certain people putting them in songs and all of that shit. And you know what's crazy, Chris? I'm going to tell you what's crazy. Today's the 12th, right? 4/15, 2017. This is what we did.
What's good, my peoples? You already know DJ RecBoy, shout out to homie Chris. We back at it, Catching Rec Entertainment. I'm here to talk to you about our show. In the studio with DJ RecBoy, shout out to homie Chris. It's all for independent artists. Yo, we play our music, we playing videos, and we're doing interviews. But yo, also, we got our new webpage coming out. So, Chris, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's called CatchingRecENT.com. On there, you're going to be able to check music out from Metaphor, LA, J-Rec, DJ RecBoy Shot. Most important, In the Studio is going to be coming from the page. Through In the Studio, we're going to be playing y'all videos, music videos. We're going to be playing y'all regular music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be helping y'all with marketing, promotional, anything to pretty much do with music, help y'all get ahead, help y'all get seen. Everything's going to be right there in the studio.
So you already know. Come catch Rec with your boys, DJ RecBoy Shot, the homie Chris, in the studio, Catch Rec Entertainment. Yo, we out. Easy.
Yeah. So, I was kind of feeling myself. So I had to go back. That's going to be 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
5 years ago, we posted that. But you got to remember, we were 2 years on FM before doing this. So when you say the trends, listen, you go to the page, look it up. Google this shit. Hold on, let me go full screen so that they understand. Google this shit. All right? We've been doing this. So if somebody needs, they're going to pay homage. I don't know what y'all was doing in 2018, 2017, but I could show you what we were doing, But back to business. You already know what it is. DJ RecBoy Shot, Mr. Catch Rec. We are the RecBoys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good weekend, and we'll be back next week. We out. Deuces. Easy. Let's get it.